Welcome to part 1 of my webcast series about the mission flown by the 8th Air Force on December 24, 1944. In this episode we will take a look at the organizational structure and order of battle of the mighty 8th as it was on December 24, 1944. The 8th Air Force was the largest air combat organization ever seen. The mighty 8th was a separate air force within the United States Army Air Forces and allocated to operate from the United Kingdom. By far most of the air bases were located in East Anglia. The 8th Air Force was commanded by Lieutenant General James H. Doolittle, and it was divided up into 3 divisions. The 1st Division commanded by Major General Howard M. Turner, the 2nd Division commanded by Major General William E. Kepner, and the 3rd Division commanded by Major General Earl E. Partridge. The 8th Air Force headquarters was situated at High Wycombe in Buckinghamshire, some 35 miles northwest of London. The 1st Division headquarters was situated at Brampton Grange in Cambridgeshire, some 17 miles northwest of Cambridge. The 2nd Division headquarters was situated at Catherine Hall in Norfolk, some 6 miles southwest of Norwich. Finally, the 3rd Division headquarters was situated at Elvedon Hall in Suffolk, some 3.5 miles southwest of Thetford and around 10 miles north of Bury St Edmunds. The divisions in turn were divided up into 4 combat wings, and each combat wings were in turn divided into 3 bomb groups, with the exception of the 4th combat wing, which had 5 groups assigned. Each bomb group had 4 flying squadrons with around 15 to 17 aircraft assigned to each squadron. The 1st Division tail marking was a triangle painted on the tail. Each individual bomb group had their own assigned letter, which was painted inside the triangle. The 1st Division had 4 combat wings assigned: the 1st, the 40th, the 41st and the 94th. The 1st Combat Wing headquarters was located at Bassingbourn. Their tail markings, denoting they were from the 1st Combat Wing, was a partially red tail. This combat wing consisted out of the following bomb groups: the ragged irregulars of the 91st Bomb Group based at Bassingbourn, the 381st Bomb Group based at Ridgewell, and the 398th Bomb Group based at Nuthampsted. The 40th Combat Wing headquarters was located at Podington. Their tail markings, denoting they were from the 40th Combat Wing, was a horizontal colored band on the tail. Each assigned bomb group had their own color. This combat wing consisted out of the following bomb groups: the 92nd Bomb Group based at Podington. The picture shows early tail markings, but in December 1944 they had a red horizontal band on their tail. The 305th Bomb Group based at Chelveston. This bomb group had a green horizontal band on their tail. The 306th Bomb Group based at Thurleigh. This unit had a yellow horizontal tail band. At the time, the fin tips were painted as well to identify a squadron within the group. However, one of those squadrons had yellow as their respective color. To create contrast to the yellow tailband, a new squadron color had to be chosen, and that turned out to be red. The 41st Combat Wing headquarters was located at Molesworth. Their tail markings, denoting they were from the 41st Combat Wing, was a colored red band around the triangle marking. Each assigned bomb group had their own color. This combat wing consisted out of the following bomb groups: the 303rd Bomb Group based at Molesworth. This unit had red color markings around the triangle. The number on top of the triangle is a squadron marking. This was the only combat wing to do so. 379th Bomb Group was based at Kimbolton. This unit had yellow color markings around the triangle. 384th Bomb Group was based at Grafton Underwood. It was common practice to paint a black triangle on natural metal finish aircraft and a white triangle on aircraft which were painted in olive drab. Their color around the triangle was black, which meant the triangle itself had to be painted white. The 94th Combat Wing headquarters was located at Polebrook. Their tail markings was a coloured diagonal band on the tail. Each assigned bomb group had their own colour. This combat wing consisted out of the following bomb groups. The 351st Bomb Group based at Polebrook. The picture shows early markings for this unit. In December 1944 they had a red diagonal band on the tail. The 401st Bomb Group based at Dean Thorpe. This unit had a yellow diagonal band on the tail. Finally, the 457 Bomb Group based at Glatton. Their diagonal tail marking was blue colored. In December 1944, B-24s were only flying with the 2nd Division. The 2nd Division tail markings was a circle painted on the tail. Each individual bomb group had their own assigned letter which was painted inside the circle. However, during 1944 the 2nd Division adopted high visibility markings and the tail disappeared. They introduced colored tails with a band painted on it. To identify a bomb group, a band was painted either vertical, horizontally or diagonal. The 2nd Division had 4 combat wings assigned. The 2nd, the 14th, the 20th and the 96th. The 2nd Combat Wing headquarters was located at Hethel. Their tail markings was a black colored tail with a white band. This combat wing consisted out of the following bomb groups. The 389th Bomb Group based at Hethel. To identify this unit they had their white band painted vertically. The 445th Bomb Group based at Tibenham. This unit had a horizontal band painted on their tail. 453rd Bomb Group based at Old Buckenham. This group had diagonal tailband markings. The 14th Combat Wing headquarters was located at Shipton. Their tail markings was a white colored tail with a black band. However, it seems they also flew with only the black band with the tail's left and natural metal finish. This combat wing consisted out of the following bomb groups. The 44th Bomb Group based at Shipton. Their black band was painted vertically. The 392nd Bomb Group at Wendling. This unit had their black band painted horizontally on their tails. The 491st Bomb Group based at North Pickenham. This unit was transferred in August 1944 to the 14th Combat Wing when their own 95th Combat Wing ceased to exist. They did however retain their original green tail with white band well into 1945. The 20th Combat Wing headquarters was located at Hardwick. Their tail markings was a yellow colored tail with a black band. This combat wing consisted out of the following bomb groups. The 93rd Bomb Group flying out of Hardwick. This group had their black band painted vertically. The 446th Bomb Group was based at Bungay. Their black band was painted horizontally on their tail. The 448th Bomb Group was based at Seething. This group had a diagonal black band painted on their aircraft tails. The 96th Combat Wing headquarters was located at Horsham St. Their tail markings was a red colored tail with a white band. This combat wing consisted out of the following bomb groups. The 458 Bomb Group based at Horsham St. Their white band was painted vertically on the tail. The 466 Bomb Group based at Ethelbridge. This group could be identified by their white horizontal band on the red tail. Finally, the 467 Bomb Group out of Rackheath. This unit had the white band painted diagonal on the tails. The 3rd Division tail marking was a square painted on the tail. Each individual bomb group had their own assigned letter which was painted inside the square. The 3rd Division had no high visibility markings applied on their aircraft with the exception of one combat wing. The 3rd Division had 4 combat wings assigned. The 4th, the 13th, the 45th and 93rd. The 4th Combat Wing headquarters was situated at Bury St Edmunds. This combat wing was unique as it had 5 instead of 3 groups assigned. 2 groups were assigned to the 4th Combat Wing after their own combat wing ceased to exist. In 1945, however, 1 group was reassigned to another combat wing in the 3rd Division. Groups flying with the 4th Combat Wing were as follows. The 94th Bomb Group was based at Bury St Edmunds. Their tail marking was a square with an A in it. The 385th Bomb Group was based at Great Ashfield and their unit letter was a G. This unit later transferred out to the 93rd Combat Wing. The 447 Bomb Group flew out of Rattlesden. Their unit marking was the letter K. The 486 Bomb Group, based at Sudbury, was one of 2 groups reassigned to the 4th Combat Wing. They also transferred from B-24s to B-17s. Initially, their tail marking while flying B-24s was the letter O. However, as this letter looked very much as the letter D worn by the 100th Bomb Group, there were concerns there might be some confusion. Therefore, they adopted the W markings. The 487 Bomb Group was based at Lavenham. This was the second unit that was transferred to the 4th Combat Wing after their own Combat Wing was disbanded. Their tail marking was the letter P. The 13th Combat Wing headquarters was situated at Horham. It consisted out of the following bomb groups. The 95th Bomb Group based at Horham. Their unit letter was B painted inside the square. The 100th Bomb Group based at Thorpe Abbots. The picture shows the markings as they were in 1945. In December 1944, however, their only unit marking was a square D. Today, these markings are still proudly worn by the 100th Air Refueling Wing based at RAF Mildenhall. The 390th Bomb Group flying out of Framlingham. Like the 100th Bomb Group, this image shows the 1945 markings. In December 1944, their only unit marking was a square J. The 45th Combat Wing headquarters was situated at Snetterton. It consisted out of the following bomb groups. The 96th Bomb Group based at Snetterton. The picture shows high visibility markings. They were applied in 1945. In December 1944, the only unit marking was a square C. The 388th Bomb Group flying out of Knettishall. This unit had the letter H as their unit marking. The 388th Bomb Group was unique as it was the only unit never to paint any squadron markings on their aircraft. The 452nd Bomb Group was based at Deopham Green. Their unit marking was the letter L. The 93rd Combat Wing headquarters was situated at Molesworth. The 93rd was unique as their groups were the only B-17 units that never had a square marking with a letter in it. The groups converted from B-24s to B-17s earlier in 1944. By then, they already adopted high visibility markings and they were retained once they flew with the B-17s. In 1945, the 385th Bomb Group was reassigned out of the 4th Combat Wing to the 93rd Combat Wing. The following groups flew with the 93rd. The 34th Bomb Group based at Molesworth and was the oldest 8th Air Force bomb group. Their unit marking was to paint the forward part of the vertical stabilizer in red. The rest of the tail would be left in natural metal finish. The 490th Bomb Group flew out of I. Their unit marking was to paint the top of the tail in red. The rest of the vertical tail would be left in natural metal finish. The 493rd Bomb Group was based at D-Batch. Their unit marking was to paint the lower part of the vertical stabilizer in red. As with the other 2 units of this combat wing, the rest of the tail would be left in natural metal finish. In conclusion, we have seen the organizational structure of the 8th Air Force. This was also the chain of command to communicate. Orders were given from the 8th Air Force headquarters, to the divisions, to the combat wings, and to the bomb groups. We have also seen the order of battle. The 8th Air Force has 3 divisions, 12 combat wings, 38 bomb groups. With each group having 4 squadrons assigned, 38 groups makes a grand total of 152 bomb squadrons available for the mission on December 24, 1944. In the next episode we will be looking at the decision to attack and the general outlines of the mission. Further we will take a look at the planning process.